Your monthly subscription box from postflybox.com includes all the materials needed to tie a dozen flies, along with some extra goodies. This coffin soft hackle is meant to imitate a green drake spinner. Trout can get very selective during the hatch, and this sparse, soft hackle is often just the right thing when trout are ignoring high-floating, more substantial offerings. The fly begins with a size 10, fairly short-shanked hook. After getting the hook firmly secured in the jaws of your tying vise, load a bobbin with a spool of dark brown unithread. Get the thread started on the hook shank, leaving an eye-length space behind the back edge of the hook eye. After taking a few wraps rearward, snip off the excess tag. Pick up the coil of solder wire and secure the bitter end to the top of the hook shank with tight wraps of tying thread. Start taking touching rearward wraps with the wire behind your tying thread. 6 or 7 turns is plenty. Bring the wire in line with the hook shank and secure it with thread wraps, then rock the wire up and down to break it off close. Keep taking wraps over the wire to further secure it. Snip off a 4-inch length of the pearl flashabou and secure one end to the near side of the hook. Continue securing it back past the hook point, then wrap your tying thread forward to the wire. Wrap the flashabou first forward toward the wire, then back, then forward once again to cover up the brown tying thread. Anchor the flashabou at the back edge of the wire. Don't snip off what's left. Pull a small amount of tan dubbing free from the packet and use it to create a fairly thin 3-inch long noodle on your tying thread. Start taking touching wraps with the noodle to cover up all the brown thread wraps and the wire beneath. Get hold of the flashabou and make 3 or 4 open spiral wraps with it over top of the dub body to rib and segment it, as well as to add some flash. When you reach your tying thread, use it to anchor the flashabou, and now you can snip the excess off close. Pick up one of the mallard flank feathers and strip off about half of the lower fibers from both sides of the stem. Ideally, you want the remaining tips to be pretty much in line. Lay the feather against the near side of the hook so the tips extend just rearward of the hook bend. Fold the feather around the hook shank and take rearward wraps of tying thread to secure it. The fibers should pretty much evenly encircle the fly. Lift the butt ends up and snip them off close, being careful not to snip your tying thread in the process. Take thread wraps to cover up the snipped off butt ends and build up a little head on the fly. Reach for your whip finish tool and use it to do a 5 or 6 turn whip finish, seat the knot well, and snip your tying thread free. All that's left to do now is get a hold of some head cement and apply an ample drop to the exposed thread wraps at the head of the fly. And that's a coffin fly soft hackle, ready to fish.